If you are a blockchain enthusiast, you must have heard of Ethereum. Ethereum has emerged as the top project that supports smart contracts and DApp creations by using its language called Solidity. Now what if I tell you there is another project that supports smart contracts and dApps built on Ethereum blockchain at a low cost and at a lightning fast speed? Today I am going to talk about that project. Welcome to CryptoTubes. I am your host Paras, and in today's video I will talk about Avalanche Crypto with AVAX Coin. Dubbed as platform for platform, it brings the power of scalability and interoperability. Now I will talk in depth about this project and also take you through the price prediction. Before I start the video, if you are new to the channel, do remember to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for weekly notification. Also, if you are a reader, I have a special section for you. You can click on the link in the description and read everything about Avalanche Coin and other coins of your choice by visiting my website, which is cryptotubes.com, and read everything about cryptocurrencies. So why wait more? Let's jump right into Avalanche. As always, before I start the video, I have a question for you. The question of the day is, what are stablecoins? Comment below and let me know what are stablecoin and give me one example of a stablecoin. Now let's start with topics of today. I will start with what is Avalanche Crypto project. Then I will talk about what is AVAX Coin. Next, I will talk about how does Avalanche work, Avalanche Architecture. Next is Avalanche Crypto ICO. Next is the benefits and drawbacks of Avalanche Crypto project. And finally, I will end the video with price prediction of Avalanche token AVAX. So let's start with what is Avalanche Crypto project. Avalanche is an open source decentralized blockchain project that supports scalability and interoperability. It works similar to Polkadot and Ethereum, but at a lightning fast speed and also at a low cost. The mainnet of the project was launched in the year 2020 and it claims a transaction finality of approximately 1 second. Don't believe me? Just watch this difference on the screen. So this is the comparison chart which is there on the Avalanche website, which compared Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot and Avalanche. Here you can clearly see the features of Avalanche compared to Polkadot, Ethereum and Bitcoin. So clearly you can see the transaction finality is less than 2 seconds. So this is the only blockchain or the first blockchain that claims that it can reach a transaction finality in 1 second. That is the fastest for any blockchain out there. Next is its throughput, which is close to 4500 TPS. It can perform 4500 transactions per second. Also, it claims to be a green blockchain, which means it is CPU optimal. So I will explain about this point when I cover the benefits of Avalanche Crypto. So these are some of the features which are wrapped around Avalanche blockchain. Now I will talk about what is Avalanche Coin AVAX. So Avalanche token AVAX is the native currency of Avalanche blockchain. Just like you have Ethereum ETS token and Solana Sol token, it serves the similar purpose. The key features of this project, which is there on the Avalanche blockchain, is that it helps to secure the network. Also, it helps to pay for the transaction fee. Next is it helps to reward the validators on the network. And finally, it helps with governance. So these are some of the features of the AVAX coin. If you want to know in depth about this token, then you can click on the link in the description and read about Avalanche blockchain. There is one important fact that you should note about AVAX coin, and that is it is a deflationary currency. That means AVAX is earned every time a transaction takes place on the network, also at the time of creating a blockchain or custom subnets or paying for the gas fee. Now coming to the next point, and that is how does Avalanche work? So Avalanche work by combining the best of two worlds, which is classical consensus and Nakamoto protocol. As you can see on the screen, it clubs two best consensus, which is classical and Nakamoto, and then formed Avalanche, which is scalable, robust, decentralized, low latency, and also green and sustainable. This type of consensus protocol is called as Snow family of protocols. So the question is, how does Snow protocol work? So let me explain it to you by showing this graphic. Snow protocol validates a transaction by deploying a small subset of validators chosen by the initial validator. So the initial validator is the one that recognizes the transaction in the pipeline. So after the selection of validators, this process is followed by subsets responding whether or not the transaction is valid. Each of the validators has its individual opinion on validating or rejecting a transaction. Now for a given transaction, if a large group of validators agree to validate a transaction, it will be passed into the system and accepted by the blockchain, even though a validator raises a concern in future on the same transaction. The same goes vice versa, which means if a transaction is rejected by a large group of validators, it will never be accepted in the system even if a validator raises a validation error in the future. The whole process may sound complicated and time consuming, but it takes just a fraction of seconds for the network to validate this process, and that too within 2 seconds. Now you may ask, what if there is a conflict between the validators? Half of them are saying yes to the transaction and other half is saying no to the transactions. So in such a case, the final decision has to be taken by the honest validators which are there on the system. They will decide whether or not the transaction to be approved or rejected by the system. That's how Snow protocol works. Now this brings me to the next part, and that is, what is the architecture of Avalanche blockchain? So Avalanche blockchain is particularly based on 3 different types of blockchain which is connected to the main blockchain called as primary network or the primary subnet, which is used to validate the transaction on the blockchains. This reminds me of something similar to relay chain which are there on the Polkadot ecosystem. Now if you want to learn about Polkadot, you can click on the link above or in the description to learn about Polkadot. Now if you're wondering what is subnets or subnetwork, you can check the definition right here about subnets, which is defined by Avalanche white paper. Now let me quickly take you through these 3 types of blockchains, the architecture of Avalanche, by taking you to this screen. So Avalanche blockchain consists of 3 different types of chains performing different functions altogether. So the number 1 is exchange chain called as X-chain. So X-chain acts as a platform for creating and trading digital assets with set rules. It's just like trading equities and commodities in the real market, and AVAX is one of the digital assets that is being traded in this blockchain to pay for the transaction fee. Second is you have platform chain, P-chain. The P-chain maintains the subnets in the network. The P-chain API allows the users to create subnets and create a new blockchain and add validators to subnets. Next is contract chain, or called as C-chain. The C-chain supports and allows the creation of smart contracts using the C-chain API. C-chain includes instances of Ethereum virtual machine. So EVM, remember Ethereum virtual machine, is the one which can run Ethereum built dApps and smart contracts on its platform. So that's the power of Avalanche blockchain. That's how it is capable of running Ethereum apps on its blockchain by utilizing Ethereum virtual machines. It's like running a Windows operating system on a MacBook using virtual software. So apart from these 3 blockchains, Avalanche is capable of creating custom chains and own custom virtual machines. So that's why this feature attracts developers to create and build multiple dApps and blockchain using any logic they wish to include. Remember, Avalanche supports the language of Ethereum, which is Solidity. Next, I will quickly take you through the ICO of Avalanche token. So Avalanche raised a total of $42 million within 5 hours by selling token at a price of 50 cents. The investors who has purchased these tokens in the ICO must have bags full of cash by now if they are holding Avalanche token, because recently it hit above $100 mark. So that's a little bit about the ICO part. Now the main part, that is, what are the benefits of Avalanche blockchain? So the first benefit that comes to my mind when I talk about Avalanche is transaction finality. And that is, it is able to confirm a transaction in less than 2 seconds, although it claims to be 1 second. Moreover, it has a TPS of 4500 transactions per second, which is quite impressive for the time being. Although there is Solana blockchain which has a TPS of 65,000 transactions per second, If you want to learn about Solana blockchain, you can click on the link above and learn about that blockchain. The second benefit is its ability to be interoperable. Clearly, you can see Avalanche has become one of the most preferred platforms that can support dApps and smart contracts built on the Ethereum blockchain. Because it supports Solidity, the developers can migrate their dApps from Ethereum to Avalanche and work in the environment that offers low cost and high speed compared to Ethereum 1.0. Unless Ethereum comes with Ethereum 2.0 launch, Avalanche has a big upside compared to the Ethereum blockchain. Using EVM, which is Ethereum Virtual Machines, has helped Avalanche to scale faster than expected. That's why it is reaching way above $100 mark at the time of creating the video. The next benefit that comes to my mind is that it is energy efficient. Yes, the blockchain is CPU optimal, which means when there are no transactions taking place on the network automatically switches to a dormant stage and waits in a low energy state, thus saves power and consumes less energy. The next benefit is low transaction fees. So to create a blockchain, to pay for the transaction fees, to create a custom subnets, you have to pay a very less fee compared to other blockchain. In case if you want to see the fees charged by the blockchain, you can refer to this list which I have shared right here, directly fetched from the Avalanche documents. So that's about the benefits of Avalanche blockchain. Now let me cover the drawbacks of Avalanche blockchain. So at the moment I didn't find any solid drawback of the Avalanche blockchain, but there is a recent news in which its DeFi applications, the application built on Avalanche blockchain, has been hacked multiple times, which is a case of concern for the Avalanche ecosystem. The famous hack which took place on Avalanche is of VeChain. The hackers stole a little over 8,000 Ethereum worth $26 million and approximately 215 Bitcoins valuing around $35 million. That is one of the tragic hacks when it comes to a DeFi platform built on Avalanche. So this wasn't enough. There is also a hack that took place earlier to VeChain hack, and that is on Zebu Finance, an application again built on the Avalanche blockchain. These two events had definitely dented the image of Avalanche blockchain. Therefore, Avalanche has a lot of work to do when it comes to marketing its ecosystem among other blockchains. So that's about a little bit into drawbacks. If you want to learn about the hack of Zebu Finance and VeChain, you can click on the link in the description and read about Avalanche blockchain. Now comes your favorite part, and that is the price prediction of the Avalanche blockchain. At the time of creating the video, Avalanche has already hit the mark of $150 per token. Just imagine the gains the investor has who purchased Avalanche at the time of ICO at just 50 cents per token. Avalanche has a unique feature, and that is its ability to support apps, the dApps, and the smart contracts which are built on Ethereum blockchain. Moreover, it also has the capability to create blockchains within its network, which is similar to Polkadot. Clearly, it is out there challenging the best of the best. It is challenging Ethereum, it is challenging Polkadot, and also it has a competition with Solana by providing interoperability and scalability features within the network. There is a lot of upside to the project, but only time will tell how far it can go. At the moment, I am very positive about Avalanche blockchain, and I believe it can go to a level of above $200 in the coming bull run. That's my view about this project and the price prediction of this particular blockchain. What do you think about Avalanche? Comment below and let me know what are your thoughts about this project. That covers my in-depth review of the Avalanche blockchain. Do watch the videos shared on the screen and do read the articles which are shared in the description of the video. I'll see you next week with a new content, so do subscribe to my channel. Till then, take care and have a good day.